I've said we are going to define the term incubation and also business incubator. An incubation is the interactive process which involves nurturing and supporting startup business by providing them with the right environment for them to thrive. And business incubator is an organization that provides a range of resources to startups at an early stage of business. When we talk about an incubator, these are the people, or this is an organization which will help you when you are starting up a business. Maybe when you are starting up a business, you don't have the right managerial skills, you don't have the finances, you don't even have the necessary people to work for you, or you don't even have a space to start up the business. So if you approach this kind of people, they will provide you with the various services which you will need to start up the business. Now let us look at the types of incubators, and this one was tested in November of 2011, question number 1C. The first type of an incubator we are going to look at is what we call the classical incubators. And for the classical incubators, they usually provide you with the premises, infrastructure, and other range of services which are needed when you're starting up the early businesses. These are kind of incubators which are common nowadays in Kenya. You find that they provide you with a furnished office, fully furnished office. So your work is just to walk in with your computer and you start working. You don't have to worry about the internet. You don't have to worry about the furniture and all that. The second type of incubator is the industrial estates. And for the industrial estate, they usually provide the industrial shed as well as capital for the startup. Remember that you might be starting up a business, but you don't have the necessary finances, or you don't have enough capital to start the business. If you approach such kind of an organization, they can give you some loans for you to boost up your business. The third type of an incubator is what we call the export processing zones, or the EPZ. And for the EPZ, they are special businesses that are usually in developing exports and foreign exchange potential. This is because they usually work well with the international economies. The aim of the zones is to attract the foreign investments by facilitating business services and providing access to the infrastructure. You find that the EPZs, they usually connect the entrepreneurs with the international market, and you can even find that they have international foreigners who will be investing in these businesses. Another type of incubator is what we call the science and technology. And for them, they usually provide the creative environment to attract and promote resources-based enterprises. Another one is we also have another type of incubator, which we call the virtual or the internet incubators. And for them, they usually offer services through the internet as they help the companies to connect with the suppliers, connect with the customers, and also you can get the purchasers through the electronic interchange, such as the teleconferencing, e-commerce, and all that. An example of such is what we call Jumia. You find that Jumia usually provide a platform for the entrepreneurs or the business people, whereby they upload their products and they market these products for them. They connect the buyers and the sellers. Another type of incubator is what we call the public incubator. And they are not, remember that for the public incubators, they're usually not for the profit purposes. These are the services which are usually provided by the government or non-governmental organization to foster and promote the economy through the growth of entrepreneurship. You find that the government can be offering free training for the entrepreneurs. They can be providing you with, they can even be providing you with the advices on how to run a business. They do it free of charge. Another type of incubator is what we call the privately sponsored. And we talk about the privately sponsored or the commercial incubators. They're the ones which are run by the private investors as a venture with the hope of seeking a return of the investments. You find that for the privately sponsored, their aim is to make a profit out of it. They usually provide you with a service, then they charge a fee on it. And you find that if when you're starting a business, they can help you do the managing. And then in return, you give them a percentage of what you are making, or you agree on a monthly or annual subscription fee. Finally, we have the university-related incubators. And for them, they are usually established at universities as academic programs to enable the university translate their research into findings. Those are the types of incubators, and I've talked of the classical, industrial estates, export processing zones, tech science and technology, virtual or internet, public incubators, privately sponsored, and university-related incubators. Now let us look at the factors to consider when deciding which business to incubate. Factors to consider when deciding which business to incubate. First of all, before we decide that which business are we going to incubate, there are a number of factors which we need to consider. The first one is the business plans and the elements comprised of. The second factor to consider is the sales growth and projected profitability. When we talk about sales growth or projected profitability, we don't want to get into a business which can even take ages for it to break even. Remember that our aim is to make money or to make profit out of it. Also, future prospects of the business. Also consider the availability of demand. Or the market products. You have to check if the market is flooded, what are you going to do different? And again, you don't have to come up with a business which will mean that you invest a lot in it and at the end you don't get any return. Also check on the governance structures. When you talk of the governance structures, this is whereby you need to analyze on the skills and the competencies of the management. Are they in a position to run the business? Do they have the necessary skills to run the business? Also, you check the industry within which the business is operating. Also, check on the cost of incubation. We need to consider how much is the capital needed for you to incubate, for you to get an incubator, for example. If it means that you will need a lot of money, you might have to decide and take another alternative, because at the end, it might be costly and maybe we don't realize the profits which are needed. Also consider the levels of competition. If the competition is high, you have to consider ways in which you can make your product different from the rest of the competitors in the market. Also, you need to consider the nature of technology, or the level of technology. When you talk of the level of the technology, you need to consider the level of technology which you are going to employ on the business. Those are some of the factors which you need to consider before you decide which business to incubate. Now let us look at the factors to consider when selecting business incubators. Factors to consider when selecting the business incubators. This question was tested in November of 2019, question number 2A. You can look at the question and these are the answers. Factors to consider when selecting a business incubator. The first one is the space and services. When you talk of the space and services, you should have to check on the charges for the space and the services offered. For example, when you are looking at the first one, which was the classical incubator, the business centers, we said that they usually provide you with the service, with this infrastructure when you are starting up the business. For example, if you don't have the space, if you don't have the necessary the enough capital to maybe get the furniture and all that in the office and pay for the internet, if you decide to go for the furnished offices, you have to choose, or you have to consider how much space will you need and how much will they be charging for the same space. The second one is about the quality. When you talk about the quality, the incubator should offer quality services and understand your business idea. They should further offer access to variable contacts and the networks. You also have to consider the quality of the services which these incubators will be providing you with. Another one is about the success rate. You have to check on their track record and the experience they have had before and reactions of their current and the former clients, right? Nowadays, it is very, what we usually use to verify, to check if that incubator is reliable, is that we usually go to their social media pages and check on their ratings. If, for example, they have over 4.5 rating, it means that they do offer good services. Another thing to consider is about the procedure and policies. You have to check on their procedure and flexibility, and one can move out if it fails. For example, when you are engaging yourself with an incubator, you are going to sign a contract. If you are going to sign a contract, read and check on their terms and policies. If, for example, you feel that they are not serving you, they are not giving you the necessary, the services are not up to your expectation, you can pull out. So do not commit yourself in a contract, for example, which will require you to give 6 months or 1 year notice for you to quit, or you suffer the consequences of paying some penalties. So you need to consider on their procedures and policies if they are flexible enough. Also, check on the management. Check on the management of the incubator. This is who are the managers incubating, or does the program appear to be well managed? And finally, also check on the skills, experience, and knowledge of know-how. With here is the what you will be asking yourself is that, is the incubator qualified in the areas of operation, in the business, and does he have the qualified and competent staff to run the business? Those are some of the factors which you will need to consider before you choose an incubator. Now let us look at the services which are offered by the incubator. Services offered by the incubator. The first services is business advice and support services. The second service which they offer is usually the IT support services. talk of the IT support services, if you don't have a qualified IT guy in your business, you can outsource them from a firm which offer the IT services. Another one is the group insurance plan. Also, more affordable equipment. Network services and marketing. Also consultancy services. Also training services. And also flexible services at a lower rate. Well, are some of the services which are offered by the incubator, and the first one I've said is the business advice and support services, the IT support services, the group insurance plan, more affordable equipment, network services and marketing, consultancy services, training services, and flexible services at a relatively lower rate. Let's look at the roles played by the government. In promoting business incubation. Roles played by the government in promoting business incubation. This one was tested in May 2015. Question number 2. What are the roles which are usually played by the government in promoting the incubation? The first role is in terms of economic development. When you talk of the economic development, they usually provide or they create specific programs for helping business startup and continue to grow and relocate to specific areas. Another role which are played is offering of the loans. They provide loan to small business, encourage local banks to work with the startups or area business that wish to expand. Another role is in research and development. Research and development. The government provides the grants to academic institutions working to develop new technologies that will benefit industry or government, providing grants to private companies making a new product or service. Another role is infrastructure improvement. Talk of the infrastructure improvement, you find that business does better when it can move the raw materials to factories efficiently and get finished goods to plants and markets effectively. Another one is about education and training. They provide education and training to ensure the businesses have access to trained workers, and the government usually provide free schooling in both primary and secondary, and also they provide the help loans for the university students. Another role is the government may also The government may also help start and growth of business by developing policies, developing the policies that addresses the needs of both the business and the management team. Another one is simplifying the tax laws. We find that the government offers favorable tax rates, simplifying procedure, and provide the entrepreneur support, leading to higher number of startups. Those are some of the roles which have been played by the government in promoting the business incubation. The first one I've said, the economic development, the loans, research and development, infrastructure improvement, education and training, developing the policies, and simplifying the tax laws. I'm going to give you an assignment. Assignment, December 2014, question number 2A, which was asking to describe the three processes which entrepreneurs go through in business incubator. Describe the three processes which entrepreneurs go through in business incubator. Now let us look another subtopic is on intellectual property. Intellectual property. And they usually include the trademarks, the patents, copyrights, and trade secrets. The trademarks, the patents, the copyrights, and the trade secrets. Now let us look at the reasons for protecting business ideas. Reason for protecting the business ideas. And the first reason why we need to protect our business idea is to check on counterfeit and counter brands. This will help us to distinguish the original products from the imitated products. Also, one is to enjoy the fruits of one's labor. Remember that if you're starting a business or you're coming up with a new product or services, you'll have incurred a lot of money, of which if you protect that business idea, you can get the return, you can get good returns. Another one is to maintain the quality of assurance, quality assurance to our customers. Also to avoid competitions. And also to perfect future business proposal. I say the reason for protecting the business idea is the first one is to check on counterfeits and counter brands, to enjoy the fruits of one labor, also to provide quality assurance to our customer, so to avoid competition, and finally for perfect future business proposals to entrepreneurs. Also now look at we'll start with the first intellectual property, which is the trade secrets. The trade secrets. And the trade secrets is the protection against the others disclosing the information that could be damaging to the business. Remember that when you are running a business, you usually have the employees who will be working for you. And the best way of ensuring that those employees do not reveal the secrets of the business. Remember that each business is unique in its own way. And if you find that if your secrets are really revealed to your competitors, you might find that you're losing the business. So the best way to ensure that your business secrets are kept is by usually ensuring that you give your employees to sign up non-disclosure agreement. This is the agreement which will prevent them from revealing any kind of secrets the business has, even after leaving the workplace. If they fail to adhere with it, there are usually the consequences which usually follow, and one way is by suing them. Now let us look to control the problem of disclosure of trade secrets by employee. An entrepreneur should always ensure that they do the following: is to train employees to refer sensitive questions to one person within the enterprise. If you find that there is anyone who has worked in the organization, and if they want to get or obtain any type of information, they don't just talk, but refer them to somebody who is well-trained, maybe to refer them to the communication department. Another one is provide escort to all office visitors. Whenever anyone walks in as a visitor in the office, you ensure that you provide them with the necessary escort and they meet the necessary people. Also, another way of which you as a business person or an entrepreneur, you can protect your secrets of your business is by you avoid discussing your business in public places. And also you keep important travel plans as a secret. Also, you use simple security such as the log file, the cabinets, the paper shredders, and all that. And also avoid faxing sensitive information. Another way is also having the employees sign non-disclosure agreement. Those are some of the ways in which you as an entrepreneur, you can protect your business secrets. Now let us look at the intellectual property. Sorry. I've talked of the trade secrets. Now let us look at the intellectual property. And the first one is the trademarks. We'll start with the trademarks. Start with the trademarks. And this is usually a distinct sign which serves to distinguish the goods of a specific person or an enterprise. Usually that it is a distinct sign which serves to distinguish the goods of a specific person or enterprise. Now let us look at the categories of trademarks. Categories of trademarks. And this one was tested in May 2016. Question number 1B. And also May 2018. Question number 1C. Categories of trademarks. And the first one is the coined trademarks. And for the current trademarks, they usually it denotes no relationship between the trademark and the goods. Said for the coined trademarks, it denotes no relationship between the mark and the goods or services. An example of such is a Kodak. Kodak usually deals with the photos, and there is no relationship with the word Kodak and the services which they provide. And you find that with the coined trademarks, they usually, it affords the possibility of expansion to a wide range of products. Another type of trademark is arbitrary marks. And for arbitrary marks, it is a mark or word meaningful in our language, and it is applied to a product. I've said it is a mark or a word which is meaningful in our language, and it is applied to a product or a service. For an example of such arbitrary mark is apple. Apple in our language is a fruit, but we usually have the products which are called apple. For example, the phones which you have. Another one is suggestive marks. And they are used to suggest certain features. Are used to suggest certain features, qualities, ingredients, and characteristics of a product. Another one, the final one, is the descriptive trademarks. And it usually describes a particular product or services. Yes. Now, let's look at the benefits of registration of a trademark. Niko na klasi ingine kuja kumalizia hapo.